Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be my November update for my makeup rehab series. This is the second year I am running a makeup series like this. In 2019, I did my makeup rehab series a little bit different, but I am essentially doing a beauty buying challenge where I started the year with a beauty bank of 30 makeup products. Every single time I purchased a makeup product, not including eyeshadow palettes, I have a separate bank for eyeshadow palettes. Every time I purchased a beauty or makeup product, my beauty bank went down by 1 credit. But every time I finished off or emptied out a makeup product, my beauty bank increased by a beauty credit, sort of as a way to try and ensure that my makeup collection doesn't get too out of control. And when we get to the end of the year and do my makeup inventory, fingers crossed, my makeup collection has only increased by about 30 products. Now, if I receive any sort of PR, I don't include my PR in my beauty bank. And then, like I said, I do have a separate bank for eyeshadow palettes. I allowed myself 3 eyeshadow palettes per month, or a total of 36 eyeshadow palettes in all of 2022. And going into this month, I have my computer pulled up right in front of me now that I have my desk in front of me, which is actually really nice. Going into this update, I had purchased 23 eyeshadow palettes. So that is where we stood. But so if you're interested in seeing my update in my makeup rehab series, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project planning content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I would love if you would consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, I made a matcha, but had to heat the milk up for so long, and I feel like the mug's super hot. We're good. Before we get into it, I do always like to say that my friend Emily as well as my friend Alex do similar style makeup rehab series, so I'll have both of them linked down below. Go check them out. Love their channels, love them as humans so much, so wanted to give them a quick shout out. And then I do break this up into different segments throughout this video. So I actually start with any PR that I have received, then I move on to all of the palettes that I purchased, then I move on to all of the products that I purchased, and then we end with empties. And I will leave timestamps linked down below in case you are not interested in hearing about any of the segments throughout this programming. I have a lot of PR actually this month, the most that I feel like I've ever received, which is super exciting, but I do feel like a little bit overwhelmed by it. I have this whole tray of products. So we're gonna start with PR, and we can start with these products from The Ordinary first. I was super excited to get a hair care set from The Ordinary. They sent over both their shampoo and conditioner, as well as they did send over their multi-peptide serum for dense, to make your hair more dense, but I gave that to my sister because she was wanting to try it, and I have such thick hair, my hair does not need to be any denser. But then I also have the natural moisturizing hydrating serum for the scalp. So I haven't tried using any of these products yet, but super excited. I feel like I've heard mixed reviews on them, but I always love to try new hair care. So then there's a couple of brands that I hadn't heard of before, and I mostly have lip products from them. The first one is Edwin Barrow, and they sent over this is a lip gloss or a liquid lipstick. This is just a lip gloss. It looks super pretty. It's in this light pink shade, and you guys know I love a lip gloss. So there it is right there. I've been saving all of these products for this video and haven't tried anything yet. So I don't necessarily have thoughts or opinions on anything just this moment. And then the other brand is Lucky Chic, and they sent over 2 lip products and an eye product. I'm super excited about this eye product. I swatched it already. So this is their liquid eyeshadow in the shade Rose Quartz, and this looks so freaking beautiful. I'm gonna have to put this in a project because I don't typically reach for this style of product, but it just looks so wet and foiled and beautiful. I'm so excited about that. And then I also have their lip gloss in the shade Paradise, which looks a little bit more pigmented than the one from Edwin Barrow, but that's what that one looks like. I have mine in the shade Paradise, if I did not say. And then finally, I have a lipstick in the shade Courage, and I got to choose the shade out, and I picked this really fun orangey red just because I don't really have anything else like this in my collection. That looks so beautiful. Like this looks like my, I don't want to say like my type of lipstick in the summer, because let's be real, I've really reached for shades like this probably like 1 or 2 times, but like there is a shade that I have from Bite Beauty that reminds me of this. I want to say it's like prickly something. And I wore it a couple times this past summer and had so much fun with it. So I'm actually super excited about that. And then Physicians Formula sent some of their products over, which was a surprise to me. I am gonna leave this with a caveat of saying I have been someone who says I don't, in the past I've said I don't support Physicians Formula because there was a situation where they started selling their products in China. They claimed to be cruelty-free and that whole thing. I really try to like not make controversy out of my makeup. And I think I will try some of these products out. I am not personally cruelty-free, but when that happened, I just remember that left like a really bad taste in my mouth. The same kind of thing happened with Wet n Wild, and this past summer I made my first Wet n Wild purchase in over a year. So I feel like slowly I'm like leaning back into some of these brands. Physicians Formula is a drugstore brand, so it's more affordable and like more, I guess, widely accessible to some. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but so this Physicians Formula sent over their Bitter Butter Illuminating Powder, which looks just like a translucent powder. They also sent over, I'm super excited about this. This is their their Butter Coffee Bronzer. I have gone through a whole, like panned and emptied a whole Physicians Formula butter bronzer. Oh yeah, that does have a coffee scent to it, and it has like almost like cute little coffee art at the top. I'm excited to try that out. It looks like it'll be more of like potentially an illuminating bronzer, because I believe the like coffee art throughout has a bit of an illumination to it. Could be wrong. Again, I haven't tried any of these products out. They also sent over another product I'm excited to try because I feel like this is going to be really beautiful. This is their Butter Believe It blush, and I'm not a huge fan of the little brushes. That like, they could definitely have less bulky packaging and not do the brushes, but this is what the blush looks like. I'm actually going to swatch this, and I'm just going to like run my hand throughout the whole thing. Okay, that looks super sheer and nude. Like that might not even show up. We'll see. We'll just have to see. We're gonna try it on the face eventually. And then they also sent over the Palm Feathered Micro brow pen. For some reason I thought this was an eyeliner, but oh, this is an actual brow pen. And this is in the shade Universal Brown. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it swatched right there. Obviously haven't tried this out yet. I have like a very specific brow routine that I don't deviate from much, but we'll give it a try. And then the last product from Physicians Formula is their Juicy Watermelon Sugar Lip Gloss. And I actually have tried this and I really liked it. It was hydrating. It has like one of the brush applicators, which like isn't my favorite form of application. But this is also just a really beautiful kind of like popsicle lip sort of shade. It's a little bit stickier. I only wore it like 2 times, so I don't really have like a full, like my full thoughts on it, but I liked it. So they sent that over. Okay, I have received 2 packages from Kaja within the since my last update. And they have been like super generous packages, and I've actually been so excited to try some of these out. Some of these I have already started trying. So I have the Kaja Balmy Bento in Pina Colada. It has like a lip scrub at the top and then a balm on the bottom. I've been loving this. I've been traveling a lot between where I live and like going home to visit my mom, and it's like a hour 15-minute car ride, and this has been like my best friend in the car, so that I can like scrub my lips and also balm them up, moisturize them up. They sent over some of their, what are these? The Love Swipes. Some of their Love Swipes, and I have actually really been loving these 2 shades. I have the shade I'm Melting and Swipe Right, which are some really beautiful neutral shades. It's more of like a moussey liquid lipstick. It's like a mousse-like texture, and it's not as drying as like your standard liquid lipstick. It also isn't as long lasting, but I've actually really enjoyed the formula of those. This I have been in love with and obsessed with. So this is the Wing Eyeliner Stamp. So do you remember there used to be like, you could order them from an indie brand and it was like a basically wing stamp. Well, now Kaja has it just in this really easy, convenient like single tube. And then also they sent over the Wing Stamp like liquid liner for like a companion. And I have been doing wings more frequently than I normally have and really been having some fun with it. I do like to do a winged liner because I feel like I have like pretty downturned eyes, but like if I do a wing liner, it lifts them a little bit. But I'm just so bad at doing wing liner on my own, and this has been seriously a godsend to me. They also sent over their mascara trio, which I haven't tried yet, but what's interesting is like these three split apart, but then they magnetize together like this. I just think Kaja has some very innovative, unique packaging. Some of it I like, some of it I don't like. I feel like sometimes it's like annoying to have like a heart-shaped packaged product. Like it's not the easiest to store, but it is really cute. And then a few more lip products. So I have the Whipped Dream lip product, which I haven't tried yet, but I have swatched and I really like the shade. I did put this on once, so I don't really have my thoughts, but when I put it on, I was like, first impressions, this might be a new favorite gloss. This is their, I don't know what they call this, but it is in the shade Milk Tea. I want to say they call it like lip shots or lip gloss shots. And they actually sent over 2 shades of their Heart Melter Moisture Melt Lip Gloss Stick. And I actually have really liked this as well. This one is in the shade Let's Chill. And I really like just like this nude pink shade. They sent over one of their Cheeky Stamps, which I've always been hesitant to buy. I swatched it. So it's like the blush stamper, and it comes with the heart-shaped blush. I got mine in the shade Koi. I haven't used it on the cheeks yet, so I don't really have a lot to say about that. They did send over one of their Beauty Bento Trios. I love these, and I have the shade Mauve Bouquet, which I'm super excited about because I love me a mauved eyeshadow look this time of year, and these shades just look absolutely beautiful. These are also great to travel with, just easy little trios. And then the final product that I have from Kaja is the Play Bento. So this is, you get the powder blush, powder highlight, and then a cream bronzer. And I haven't tried this one yet either. I have mine in the shade 1 Butter Up. But I'm really excited about this because Samantha March had talked about really enjoying that product, and it's been something that's been on my wish list, but I just haven't actually purchased. So very excited about that. And then the final PR that I have, I saved for last because it includes an eyeshadow palette, but I couldn't believe it when Alter Ego sent an email wondering if they could send over their newest eyeshadow palette. This is the Harmony palette, and along with it they sent over their eyeshadow base. So the Harmony palette is like the dupe to the Natasha Denona, is it the Retro palette, I believe? Is it the Retro? The Retro Glam just came out. You'll see that in a minute. Is it the Retro? I think, yes. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm super excited to. I do really like the Natasha Denona Retro palette, so I anticipate I will really enjoy that. And after that, that's very long. We had a lot of PR. I'm super excited about it. Very, very grateful to just like get PR packages from brands in general. Like, so grateful to get to try products and review and test them for you. So those are all of the PR products. I do have 4 eyeshadow palettes to share. So as I mentioned, I believe I was at 23. Yes, 23 eyeshadow palettes in my bank, 23 out of 36. I purchased 4 more, so I'm at 27 out of 36 for the year, meaning I can technically purchase 9 more eyeshadow palettes. I'd love to come in under my eyeshadow goal. We'll see. I don't feel like there's a lot more makeup I'm gonna buy in 2023, but I could, like, eyeshadow is just that one thing that, like, there could be that eyeshadow palette releases that I feel like I just have to have. So the eyeshadow palettes that I purchased, some of this might be repeated information if you saw my Sephora VIB sale, but I did purchase the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. I do really get excited about her eyeshadow palettes that release this time of year, the large ones. And I've used this once and loved the look that I came up with. Some of the shades, like some of the metallic shades in here, I was just super impressed with, and I am very excited to keep testing that. The palette on my eyeshadow, or on my eyes today, is the Melt Cosmetics Earth palette, the Bad Side Zodiac Earth palette. I am a Taurus, and I like to fully embrace my Taurus attributes, good and bad. This is what this palette looks like. I've actually really enjoyed my time with this palette as well. I have now officially used every single shade in this palette, and while I do think that Melt Cosmetics in general, their eyeshadow is just a little bit more expensive. If you're like really wanting to buy one of these, I think, and you find a color story that you feel like you can get use out of, they're like cute little palettes. I feel like it's really like nice, heavier packaging for just a little palette like this as well. So I'm really happy with that. And then the last two, so this just out of the blue, it felt like, released from Makeup by Mario, and I did go back during the Sephora VIB sale and make one more purchase and purchase this palette the day that it launched, because I was like, I freaking need this. I saw the teaser picture of it and it was like one of those situations where you're like, oh my god, like I want to unsee it because I don't need it. Like, I literally do not need this. But the swatches of like the shimmer, like the ethereal shimmer shades, I just couldn't resist. This is the Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. I have not yet tried that, but I'm so excited about it. And then I had to do it. Like, I just had to do it. First of all, I really enjoy the packaging of this palette. This is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. I love my Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette. Really love that palette. And I was going back and forth on this eyeshadow palette, but alas, I did decide to pick it up, and I'm super excited to play around with this one. This Flutter shade just looks like the most beautiful like inner corner highlight. I'm also really excited for the shade Palladian? I don't know. And I'm excited to just play around with this. It's not like, I feel like this palette is like a little bit outside my comfort zone. Like, there's not a ton of neutrals, although you do have Lucy and Faye, which look like they could be really great shades. But I'm excited to just play around with this palette. I just picked this up this morning, so I have not yet used it. But those are all of the eyeshadow palettes that I brought in. And as a reminder, I am at 27 out of my 36 eyeshadow palettes. All of this information will also be in the description box if you want to follow along. So now let's move on to all of the makeup products that I purchased. 2 updates ago, I did update some of my rules. So I had goals at the beginning of the year and some rules. Again, you'll find all of these linked in the description box. I added a couple of like rules, one of them being that I had to finish off 3 foundations before I could purchase another foundation. And then there was like other rules about blush and stuff. I'll post everything on the screen. I also gave myself a concealer max for the year of 4 concealers, which I actually hit. Like, I had purchased 4 concealers by like midway through the year. So there was a concealer I wanted during this Sephora VIB sale, but I didn't purchase it. I also wanted to purchase the Haus Labs foundation, but I hadn't finished 3 foundations and I didn't want to make rules just to break them. So I didn't purchase the Haus Labs foundation either. And I don't have anything technically, I feel like, that technically would have like broken the rules. Although I feel like I should have been on a lip product no buy, and you'll see that I have 2 lip products, but I'll use them because it's like one of my favorite lip products of all time. So let's just get into it. Again, this is really just gonna be like, if you saw my Sephora VIB sale haul, this is gonna feel super repetitive because I literally only have the products from the sale and then 1 additional product. So first up, I did purchase the holiday set, the Tower 28 Lip Jelly holiday set. I love the Tower 28 Lip Jelly formula, and they had a 2-pack for $30. This shade Dream, I believe, is like limited edition to the set. It's this really beautiful champagne shade I've already been using. And then I have the shade Coconut, which I've gone through a full size of coconut in the past. So I know I'll get use out of these. And while I did purchase these in the set, these will count as -2 to my beauty bank because it's obviously 2 products. I forgot to mention, when we entered the month, my beauty bank was at 17 products. 2 updates ago, I believe I also lowered my beauty bank. Maybe it was last update. My beauty bank was higher, and then I like took like 5 products out of it. I had like a beauty bank of 24, and then I lowered it, I think, to like 17 or something. Maybe I took 12 away, I can't remember. But I lowered my beauty bank because I just don't need to purchase makeup and I need to use my makeup up. So I lowered it even more. But going into this past month, my beauty bank was at 17 credits. So this would be -2. I also purchased the Refi primer. This is the Glow and Sculpt face primer. I used to be so into face primer, and while I still use it every single time that I do my makeup, I haven't purchased primer like in the same capacity that I used to. So I felt like I could justify purchasing this. And this has been something that since I first saw this on the Sephora website, I've been interested and intrigued by this product. It has a very unique applicator in that you literally like roll this on. I think I've used this 3 times at this point in time, and I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. This was a more expensive primer. I want to say it was like $34. It's not like bad, like I won't be able to use it up, but at this point in time, I don't feel like it's super special that I would go out and repurchase or really recommend. A product I've been absolutely loving is the Haus Labs Optic Intensity eyeliner in the shade Cobalt Blue. This I purchased for, I believe, $22. I do have it in my waterline today. I do have blue eyes, so I feel like it kind of makes my blue eyes pop a little bit. I just love, like, I love me a cobalt blue. I love cobalt blue in fashion. I love cobalt blue like nail polish. And I was super excited to get a cobalt blue eyeliner, and I literally can't stop using it. I'm so happy with this purchase. And then the last thing I picked up during this Sephora VIB sale, I couldn't resist. I feel like I'm becoming like a NARS stan. Like I feel like I need every single release, even though all the stuff that they release is like always limited edition. I don't care. I'm becoming a NARS collector. And I purchased the Holiday Rising Star Cheek Palette. I do kind of want the NARS Rising Star eyeshadow palette, but I don't need it. But I might purchase, especially if it goes on sale. I will purchase. But this is the Rising Star Cheek Palette. I have used this I think 3 or 4 times thus far, and I'm not gonna lie, I have been having some fun with these 2 shades right here. This is more of like a purpley pink, and I don't have any other blush like this in my collection. Same with this, like it kind of looks like a standard pink, but it has this like purpley, almost like cool tone, purpley undertone, and I just have loved that. I also love these 2 shades, and a red blush in the summer, like diffused on the cheeks, I love. So I'm super excited about this. Very happy to also have this palette. I think I paid $59 for that. And then the only other, $59, but then I had my Sephora VIB discount for all that. And then the only other thing that I purchased is this from About Face. So I've been really interested in Halsey's brand. I love Halsey's music, and I really wanted to support her brand, but I haven't necessarily felt like anything like really called to me except for the blushes, but they weren't available on Ulta like right away when her brand became available on Ulta. And then one day they were available, and I was like, okay, I do want to purchase a blush. So I tried to purchase a blush that wasn't totally the same as all my other blush shades because that was a rule of mine. I ended up picking up this shade. This is the Cheek Freak in the shade Smash, I believe. And it's a cream blush. There it is right there. It's a very rosy shade, and I feel like it's going to be really beautiful come next, like spring, summertime, as like a really beautiful like sunburnt blush. I have only swatched this. I have not put this on my cheeks yet, so very excited about that. I believe that was $18. So if you were not keeping track, I started with a beauty bank of 17. I did purchase 5 products, but one of them being that set, so 6 total makeup products, again for a total of 6. So that would bring my beauty bank down to 11. Keeping track of my annual totals, I did spend a total of $163. That is not including discounts. That is just if I purchased the makeup at like dollar value, but I do like to just like give that information because sometimes I feel like you see people haul things and you don't actually think about like the actual dollar value of those things. So in the spirit of makeup rehab and keeping track of just makeup coming in, money spent on makeup, $163 for like face value for these products. And then for my annual total, I am at 72 total products purchased for a total of $1,497.88. I am very confident that I will end this year purchasing less than 100 makeup products, which is a step in the right direction for me, and I'm super excited about that. That might sound like an insane amount of makeup, but it is an improvement for me. So I'm very excited about that. So as I mentioned, my beauty bank would be down to 11 credits. I did finish off, was it 5? 6? 5. I did finish off and empty out 5 total makeup products, so I will discuss those with you now. So up first is foundation, 2 out of 3 that I need to finish in order to purchase another foundation. I did finally finish off my Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection foundation, and I am so happy about this. This was not a favorite foundation of mine. I feel like so many people like this foundation, but I am not one of those people. It just did not look good on my skin. I don't know if it was the shade or the formula, but I just never really loved the way that it looked on my skin. But because I paid, I believe it was $64, is it $64? $68 on this foundation, I was like, I need to use this up. So I did finally use this up. It took longer than anticipated. I was working on this pretty much all year in my rolling project 10 pan before emptying that out. I do have a liquid liner that is dried out. This is from, I believe, the brand Josephine, and I got this in like a glossy box subscription box, but this retails for $25. It works for like one small little dot, and then it's like immediately dried out. So I'm ready to just call this. I've barely gone through any liquid liners this year, so I'm ready to call this one good. Again, that retailed for $25. This Essence Bye Bye Panda Eyes mascara is pretty much empty. It's hard to open, it like sticks. And then this has also been open for about 6 months time at this point in time, which usually I like to keep my mascaras to a strict 3 to 4 months before I consider them done and an empty. This retails for $4.99, and that is an empty. This Chantecaille lip balm, I have mine in the shade Beach Rose. I can't get any out of this unless I were to physically scrape, and I am not the type of person that enjoys physically scraping product out of here. Even though I know there's still a little bit of product left, I'm good with calling this an empty. It just scrapes my lips off if I try and rub this on my lips. I didn't realize, I thought this was $22. I did get this in, I believe, the Glossy Box Advent Calendar or Glossy Box subscription last year as well. I thought this retailed for $22, but it actually retails for $34, which is insane. I did not think this lip balm was anything special at all, so happy to have that as an empty. Again, that retails for $34. And then I did finally empty out and finish off my NYX brow glue. I literally cannot get any more of this out as much as I scrape it, squeeze it, whatever. If I were to cut the top off, I might be able to get a little bit more product out, but just because of like the application and like obviously it's this little dough, like because of the way it applies, like cutting this would dry it out and it just wouldn't be a good situation. So we're calling this empty. This retails for $8. I actually really loved this product. I do have a couple other brow glues currently in my collection to get through, but when I finish those off, unless I like the NYX Thick It Stick It more and just like don't feel like I need both, I would absolutely purchase this again. I thought this was a great product. I actually really like how little the little doe foot is on this. I actually really like how little the doe foot is on this, and for me this has just as much of a hold as the ABH brow glue, but it doesn't make my eyebrows as crispy. It's still like, it's like they're thick and maybe a little crispy, maybe a little bit sticky, but not nearly as much as like the crunch that the ABH brow glue will give you. So I did finish that off. I have been like thinking I was going to finish this for months before actually finishing it, so it feels really good for me that this is finally an empty. And if I didn't mention, again, that retails for $8. So I did use up a total of 5 products this month for a total retail value of $179. My annual total for makeup products used is 61 products for a total of $1,151. Is that right? Did I update that? That is not up to date. I need to update that. I'll post the updated amount on the screen. So adding those 5 beauty credits for those 5 empties back into my beauty bank, that puts my beauty bank back at 16. Super excited about that. I almost want to like take 10 away and like leave my beauty bank. Maybe I will do that, because I don't feel the need to bring really any more makeup except for eyeshadow palettes. I'm not going there. I'm not saying no eyeshadow palettes. I do have the Christmas and Christmas Eve Odin's Eye palettes on their way to me, but it'll be possibly at least another week before those get here. I'm gonna shoot for only bringing in 6 more makeup products. I do have one more update before the end of the year. That will be in December, and then we will obviously wrap this up after December 31st to see how we truly ended up. But I feel like I've been much more successful this year in terms of like actual makeup brought in versus 2021, and I'm really excited to, after this year is over, to like compare the 2 years as well and see how the 2 years differentiate. But that is gonna wrap it up for today's makeup rehab video. I know this was a long one. Thank you if you have made it till the end. I appreciate you guys so much for your love and support, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.